The gang boss just stepped into the detention center. You see a flower arm. Little Carla is bullying the honest man. At first, the boss didn't care, just self-absorbed, and the man in a suit next to him chatted, but he just took a casual glance. I was warned by little Carla.
You keep eyeballing me, I'll fuck you up.
White turned his head calmly, but I'm already brewing in my heart to make rules for him. He pretends not to care, continued chatting with the man in the suit as if nothing had happened. But after learning that the other party passed green energy projects for wind farms, fraudulent of $12.5 million in government subsidies, then he lost everything in the casino, instantly realized this honest-looking man in a suit, it's actually a talent. So the warm-hearted Uncle Long went even taught him the rules of prison survival.
What? Hey. Fucking silence is golden.
Lesson finished little Kara. Dwight returned to his seat with light steps, but the next second, the guard who heard the movement rushed over.
What happened to him?
He's taking a nap.
The prison guard not only did not pursue, instead, the corners of his mouth slightly warped and left with satisfaction. The man in the suit was instantly stunned when he saw this, immediately regarded as a life mentor. The next day, the prison guards came to interrogate Dwight. The man in the suit stood up respectfully and sent him off, and very sincerely expressed the need in the future find him as well.
Darling, you won't be hard to find.
White smiled with satisfaction, because he's going to need this talent right away. In court, White of the second offense is quite relaxed. This time, he was reported by the detective's little girlfriend, was jailed for bribing federal agents. But fortunately, this charge is a bit far-fetched, and the prosecutor's office can't produce enough evidence officers. His 3 years and 5 years. In the end, Dwight was funded by his daughter Tina, bailed $3 million, released in court, but he just walked out of the courthouse. Little leopard reporters flocked too. The water is blocked. It turned out that he was caught and released. It has long been on the local hot search. Journalists are asking, did he come to Tulsa to represent the old club in New York? White glared at him without answering, straight into the backseat of the big Lincoln. After all, he is now in front of the foundations of Tulsa. It's not time to publicly challenge the old club, but Uncle Long, who was determined to avoid trouble. Soon the trouble came to the door. This day, he and Mitchell were chatting in the car, blowing cowhide. Suddenly I saw a few followers, staring at himself. Uncle Long suddenly lost his good nature, immediately let Dwight take a sharp turn, turned around, and threw it at the other party. I thought I realized my whereabouts were exposed. The copycat will just give up and stop bothering. I didn't expect. The next day they just switched cars. They started following him.
No, this is insulting. They done swapped out the Tahoe for this pitiful fucking Ford Fusion? Yeah, should I lose him?
White can't take it anymore. Decided to go back to these grandchildren in person, so he directly asked Mitchell to pull over, then take the initiative to get out of the car and negotiate. But after the two sides met, he just found out he was being followed by federal agents.
Follow me around, maybe catch some terrorists. So, I'm gonna give you my schedule.
As long as your schedule doesn't include a stop by the ATF office.
Are you saying I'm threatening her?
Since being found out by his ex-girlfriend Beale, Dwight is released from prison. I was very worried that he would take revenge on me. That's why the Joint Debugging Bureau agents were sent to monitor Uncle Long, just in case he hits the door and blows his brain. But in fact, his worries were unfounded, because right now, Dwight just wants to do a good job in his career. In order to relax the terrified being pulled, Dwight took the initiative to come to his apartment.
Are you here to kill me?
No.
Facing Beale's doubts, White's sincere expression, he was freed after 25 years of hard work. The first girl I met, although the positions of the two sides are destined to be at odds. But I will never do anything. Hurt him. Heard Dwight's true confession. Beale suddenly felt a sense of guilt.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to say anything. They played you. It was not your fault. You were.
Used to be like this with a 3-inch tongue. Uncle planted another seed in Beale's heart after appeasing his ex-girlfriend, and he focused on his career. White first came to Mickey's bar. I found out that I had another little brother while I was in custody. This muscular hunk nicknamed Bigfoot. It's Mickey's cousin. All the tendons look very safe. And what's even more rare is, he was also a very polite social young man.
How's that work?
I simply try to understand people are very rude before I smash their heads.
Look at that.
White expresses satisfaction when even if this general is included in the gray man. However, as once a veteran of New York's largest game, White will naturally not be satisfied. This little business at hand. In order to expand the business as soon as possible, he mentioned it to his friends. Fraud encountered in the detention center. The man in the suit said, if you take over the other party's wind farm, their hydroponics, marijuana, farms can have a steady stream of free energy. So, not only can they be like the man in the suit, pull the wool from the government, also at the lowest cost, doubling the size of marijuana farms.
What do you think?
There's a fine line between who's a criminal and who's a businessman.
Very wise man. Cheers.
Salud.
Salud. Salud.
White long came to the marijuana shop operated by Bodhi after some upgrades. What was once a small grocery store has been transformed, presenting a sense of advanced high-end atmosphere. After praising the new atmosphere of the store, White came to Bodhi's office, and we're going to cut to the chase, introduce him to the new opportunities he had discovered, knowing that there will be a steady stream of free energy in the future. Roddy immediately cracked into laughter, and Dwight, who received the full support of his partners, finding non-stop another friend, Margaret, who runs the horse farm. Hope he helps introduce some local famous people in order to raise funds for their business plans. Margaret is also pretty awesome. When even invited, he's attending a charity dinner tomorrow night, and tell him without reservation the sponsor of this dinner, Carl. Not only did he make a fortune from all in the early days, it is still one of the giants in the medical field in Malaysia. So Dwight specially asked the younger brothers to dress up, ready to meet this wealthy all tycoon. I thought that by virtue of my personality charm, taking down this boss is just a grab. But he never thought of it. The other party showed complete hostility as soon as he opened his mouth.
I don't want to sound out of line, but if I were you, I'd stay in my own lane, whichever one that is.
原来
Carl has already beaten the details of Dwight. I can hear it clearly, knowing his interest in the cannabis market in Tulsa. I have big ambitions. Therefore, he has long been regarded as a competitor in the business field. Competitors don't want to let he gets a piece of the action on his own turf. The broke up, but Carl didn't stop there. Pretty soon, he will bring the news of Dwight's development in Tulsa. Told Bellavacqua, the biggest local gang leader.
I thought this was your territory. Why don't you get a copy of today's Tulsa Starr? Check it out. It's not good.
可想而知。
A new force is about to launch a siege against Dwight. However, this is not the only crisis facing Dwight, because he turned against the military backbone of his old employer, Li Tu Xiao Dongjia. Jackie's leadership skills are called into question by gangs. In this way, he was strongly dissatisfied with Dwight. Official war, perpetual thoughts. So that night is looking after the encouragement of the casino for Dwight. Suddenly received a call from a friend. Wait for him to pick it up. Just found out. The one who spoke opposite was Chickie. To declare his resolve to go to war, Chickie actually took the gang elder to the knife, execute the neutrals who befriended Goody, and say goodbye.